what you need to do is make yourself comfortable in yourself, because you're then going to be comfortable around other people automatically. As soon as you're comfortable around other people automatically, they flock to you, they just come to you. What's up, my home dogs and home slices? We are back. I'm going into this video now about dudes and dudettes. Okay, so my first question to you, I have a question to start this video off. And the question is, why do you feel it's necessary to be firstly looked at or checked out? Hi there. Hello, puppy. Oh, it's okay, baby. Right, so I guess that gave you some time to think about that question. Okay, here I am, dressed like an Eskimo in the middle of... Dude, this is Africa. I don't know how the hell Africa can get so freaking cold. Like, my God. It snows here sometimes. My gentlemen, we have a video to make. Because it feels like you're all chasing after women instead of doing what you should be doing, which is not chasing anything and rather working on yourself. So let's talk about that. Let's just grab a seat quickly in these formidable conditions. I have a question. How many of you go out into the world and you're constantly fixated on the opposite sex? You're looking for the hottest one there. You then keep staring, hoping that they'll look back at you. Eventually they look back at you and you wonder what to do about it next. You start freaking out in your head. Some of you decide to just go and talk to them anyways. It doesn't go well. You wonder why it doesn't go well. Some of you it goes well. You wonder why it goes well sometimes and not well other times. And some of you, it just keeps going so well. You're on another level. But what if I told you that there's a way that you can do nothing and it will all come to you? This applies to everything, but right now we're talking about the opposite sex. We're talking about relationships, romance. Even if you just want to have sex, you can get that as well. The goal, the ultimate goal, how you get to this state, is to be as happy in yourself as you possibly can be. That is literally the answer. There's nothing else I need to say. But some of you might be wondering how to get there now. That answer is so easy. It just takes time, dedication, and perseverance in some cases. Because let me tell you, you might never get the things that you think you want. You might never get the people in your life that you think you want, but what you could get is always something better. And you'll only get that by being happy with yourself. Okay, at least in these new energies. I know the old energies were you can have anything you want as long as you're corrupt and evil and take it. But these new energies don't allow for that nonsense. If you don't know who I am a psychic reader type. And I live an extraordinary existence, but that word just means extraordinary. Like, don't get your hopes up, okay? But what I can do is do readings like this, where I pick up on people's energy. I can do real life readings as well. I am what they call an energetic empath, although I don't agree with titles and labels. I don't think any of that is necessary. But on the human level, for some people, just to understand, that's what you can use as a way to describe it. These capabilities that I and many others have as well. And chances are most of you have these capabilities as well. It's just if you learn what they are, you learn how to use them, you learn that most of what you feel might not even be your feelings, it might be everyone else's and the world's feelings around you. You start to unlock your next level of observation. And that observation leads to this psychic awareness that everybody talks about. It's just being superbly observant about things. but in every level, so energetic as well. See what comes in and smacks you in the face. See if you feel like a stabbing wound, pain, or something like that. So now that we got that out the way, I just need to explain how these videos work, because I feel like there's a lot of new people here. These videos are up and down and around about and all over the place, because like I said, I just get smacked with energy. Some people call it a download. I call these influx, because obviously this is meant for an audience, and that audience from the future connects to this present moment energetically. And thus you have these videos which just present themselves. I would recommend you go check out the other videos. It's very beneficial, very useful stuff. I'm here to help guide people from a place where I was 3 to 5 years ago up to a place where I am today. I'm here to help you do that. And one of my biggest issues was women. Why did I regret it? Well, for no reason other than it felt like I kept missing opportunity. It felt like opportunity would present itself and I wouldn't know what to do with the energy, and it would dwindle away. And that happened over and over and over and over and over and over and over the past 3 to 5 years. In fact, over a lot of my life, to get me to a point where I stopped giving a shit. And that is your answer right there. Stop giving a shit about what other people think. Even if it's the opposite sex, which you seem to crave validation from. You're like, if I can get looked at by at least 5 chicks while I'm out, I know I've got it, I know I'm suave. All you are doing there is putting your happiness, which is ultimately your power, into other people's hands. And in fact, even into the luck of the draw, because there's a chance that even if you are hot and you do look good and you go out, there's a chance that those girls are with someone they already find attractive. There's a chance that those girls are going to be busy on their phone as you walk past. There's a chance of all these things happening. And meanwhile, you're saying, as long as this one particular outcome happens, I will be happy. That's already going to ruin the rest of your life, because you're already fixating on a one outcome. You can't enjoy the process. And that's what this video is about. This video is all about your process. Are you happy with who you are? Are you happy where you are? Are you a man who takes charge of what you want, or a woman, or a non-binary? Are you a person who takes charge of what you want for yourself and you go after it? You don't chase it, you go after it. You work towards it. Or are you a person who believes that the universe should do everything for you and you just sit back and do nothing? Okay, neither of those is going to work in your favor. If you're just doing nothing, I did experiment with that. Like a year of my life, I experimented. I did nothing per se. I let the universe roll me around, and it just rolled me around. That's literally what it did. Okay, it kept me afloat, but it did roll me around. As soon as you give yourself some direction, you start improving yourself. So any of you who have just gone through a breakup and are looking for a way to fix yourself, you want to improve yourself, that's a good start. Improve yourself, even if it's to improve yourself, even if it's improving yourself for the benefits of the other person. You think, well, if I get more muscles, then this person will come back to me or whatever. Cool, start. Okay, use that energy and start. It doesn't matter. But eventually what you're going to find out is the more you work on yourself and the more skills you start learning, the more courses you start doing, the more certificates you start giving yourself, the more you just start advancing yourself in your own capacity, regardless of whether you think it's for yourself or for other person. As long as you're doing that, eventually you're going to find that it is all for yourself, and you're going to start feeling really good about yourself. And that's when the results are going to start showing. What you need to do, if you want to hook up with somebody, if you want to get in a relationship, if you want to find a partner, a lifelong partner, whatever you're looking for, you got to start with yourself. Ask yourself this. Ask yourself, if I was the ideal romantic partner, or if I was the ideal one-night stand, or whatever it is you're looking for, ask that question and say, well, what would the ideal blah, blah, blah have in store for this other person? So you're not thinking about the other person. You're thinking only about yourself, okay? Why? Because what happens is you tend to think about other people, or we as humans, we tend to think about the other person and other people, and we're like, oh, that'll never happen. They'll never just come up to me. They'll blah, blah, blah. And then we literally cock block ourselves, okay? We literally stop ourselves from enjoying our life and embracing the physical sensations that are human beings, and also the romantic and emotional sensations that are human interaction. And why? Because we build it up in our head and we make ourselves afraid of other people because we think that other people will judge us a certain way. We think blah, 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 blah. So if you have no confidence, zero confidence, just start working on yourself. And if you need to think about other people and impressing other people to motivate yourself, fine. It's fine. Start, okay? As long as you can motivate yourself to start. And then you just keep going with that energy until the point where you realize you've worked on yourself enough, and it will happen. You've worked on yourself enough where you're so strong and proud of yourself in certain areas or elements or aspects that you can now start branching out and expanding yourself. And you're going to find with that, you're going to stop evaluating yourself in other people's eyes, and you're going to start just enjoying yourself in your own eyes, not even evaluating or assessing. What you're going to do is critique yourself a little bit. You know, if you make a mistake, you make a blunder here and there, you're like, okay, this is what I can fix about that in the future. This is how I can avoid this in the future. And you work with that. That's how you improve yourself. So that's all you got to do. You got to improve yourself, okay? Now, there are some coaches out there who literally go on and on about you should be going to get a girl. You should be going to have sex. You should be doing all these things. I have been personally mentored with people saying stuff like that, and I've also seen it online with all these new self-help gurus and coaches, especially all these toxic men. That's why this video initially was directed at men, but I'm feeling that there's a whole bunch of people. But I need to let you know that most of these online men coaches are not healthy. You should be following the spirit coaches a lot more than you should be following anything about girls and picking up girls and how to be a pickup artist. That's all bullshit, okay? Go and watch those videos and you're going to see some traits in people that you don't necessarily want in yourself. Okay, it might be beneficial to watch in some cases because you can see how people do approach confidently and stuff. You can, obviously, from everybody and everything, there's pros and cons. Take away what you need, regret, or let go of the things that you don't need or you don't agree with. But ultimately, what I have to say is, if you're chasing in any capacity, then you're doing it wrong. What you need to do is make yourself comfortable in yourself, because you're then going to be comfortable around other people automatically. As soon as you're comfortable around other people automatically, they flock to you, they just come to you. Alright, I'm feeling a little bit like I can promote myself. If you go and check out the vlogs, I got a lot of vlogs with other people involved, and you're going to see how comfortable people can get around me. And that's not a boast, even though it does sound like a boast, but no, I was actually guided. Okay, I try and keep my personal stuff out of these videos, but if I get the guidance to speak of something, I'm going to. And the reason that people are comfortable around me is because I'm comfortable within myself, and I only got here by being where you are a few years ago. I wasn't happy. I mean, I've even got on that same vlogs channel, I've got videos of me talking about how I've missed so many opportunities and how I have a bad rep and bad history with girls and stuff. And it's literally like, it's almost like that was, in fact it is, like that was just a completely different person. And the only switch I made was that I started evaluating myself. I started critiquing myself. I stopped worrying about what others thought of me. I stopped worrying about judgments. I overcame certain fears. I realized that other people will think whatever the hell they want, you know, and especially as an energetic empath, you can actually feel and sometimes even read thoughts of other people around you that can get very hectic. Once you learn to cut that out and stop caring about what they think, and you just focus on yourself and being mindful as well, then everything just works out, man, because their thoughts, it's almost like the energy is stopped in its tracks. So their thoughts just immediately erupt into nothingness, and meanwhile you replace it with your own thoughts of like, you can do whatever you want. So if you're feeling unsexy, you can say, no, don't worry, I know I'm sexy. And that's not that's a beneficial thing to do, because that's you telling yourself. That's not you seeking that answer from other people. You're saying, no, it's okay, I know I'm sexy. And then you know you are sexy. And literally that energy is implanted in you, and then other people notice, and you start feeling more comfortable and confident. You start focusing on those energies if you want to, okay, because that's where it now comes in. You get to a point where you identify all this, you get to a certain level where you're like, now you can start advancing if you want to. What do you do? How do you do it? Well, the first answer is I don't. Okay, if I want to advance, I might like look at them a little bit. but not in like a come here. Okay, that's the issue, is that when we do that, we tend to put a lot of pressure energy. We're like, come here, you know, you're staring at a girl and you're like, come here, girl. And that's just a little bit creepy, isn't it? Same with all of those pickup artists and all of that stuff. So the real trick is to just be happy and comfortable where you are. If you're looking at someone, you're looking at them to admire them. You're not looking at them in the hopes that they're going to come to you. You're not looking at them in the hopes that you're going to end up hooking up. You're not looking at them with any sort of hidden back agenda. You're not looking at them with an agenda, dudes. Okay, this one's very specifically at the dudes. Dudes have a very big agenda. When it comes to a hot chick, you see a hot babe and you just cannot help yourself. Your monkey mind kicks and you're like, she's like fucking hot, dude. But unfortunately, you need to control your mind, okay? So that's what you need to do. So when you look at somebody, you look at them saying, man, she is really fucking hot. But you're not looking at her like saying, man, she's so hot, I want to bang her. Or whatever. I mean, you can eventually, I suppose so, but as long as you're not sending that energy towards her, you know, as long as those are just your thoughts and you're just like, man, she's really good looking, I would really like to bang her, and then you leave it at that, and then you cut the energy. That's the power. But what you could do, I suppose, is go up to her if you see her looking and she's wants to reciprocate, then you can go up to her and just start a conversation. But the issue is that you shouldn't then be speeding it along the tracks of trying to get her into a bed. Remember what I said, your agenda. You don't want to have an agenda. There's just a bird stalled in the sky there. You don't want even if you do have a hidden agenda, you don't want that to come through. So what do? Get rid of it. Get rid of your hidden agenda, okay? How do you do that? Well, you trust. Number one, you trust that the universe will bring to you anything you ask and want if you really deserve it. Number two, if you're not getting what you want, you need to realize that it's because of something inside of you, not because of the outside world. And number three, if you want to move up in the world of dating, if you want to become someone who really is looked at, really is flocked to, really is comfortable to be around, then you need to work on yourself, and that's just the way it is, okay? If you want to know what to work on, it's very easy. Look at a role model of yours. Look at someone who looks like they're doing well. See what they're doing. You don't have to do everything. Remember pros and cons. You don't have to agree with everyone's every move. The doggies just keep coming up to me today. Hello. Hello, Bobs. Hey. Aww. Yes, baby, yes. Yes. Okay. Whoa. Okay, bye, pups. So that's what you need to do, okay? And then you're going to have everything. Dogs will come up to you, as you can see. Animals will love you because you're comfortable. You're grounded. So you need to be grounded and you need to be comfortable with yourself. But how do you be comfortable with yourself? You ground. So comfort levels are all about being grounded in yourself and also being in control of your mind. So we'll talk about mind control later on, because that's a huge thing in this day and age. Western society has taught us that the mind is everything, and it's actually corrupted our minds quite drastically and dramatically, and we need to change that. But we are changing that right now, though. This is for those who can't even think about the mind right now. All you're thinking about is obsession over the other, about any particular person or any type of person. Maybe it's just girls in general, or it's one particular girl, or even a dude, or maybe it's, a fear of cops or whatever it is. You need to ground yourself, okay? Ground yourself, be comfortable. How do you ground yourself? Number one, nature. I say this in every single video. 5 minutes in nature every day. I cannot begin to tell you the importance of this tool. It helps everybody and anybody in every capacity you can think of when it comes to grounding, and when it becomes a tool, your stepping stone for mindfulness as well, then it's just even more important. But that's the first thing. Second thing is, the easiest one is exercise. Okay, but what I'm actually going to say is choose any physical project to work on, as long as you're moving your body and using your muscles. Okay, it can be building something. It can be gardening, redoing your garden. It can be doing a full cleaning of your house, or maybe revamping your room, or just going to the gym, or doing a run, every couple days. Whatever it is, just choose a project, use it as a goal, and start working on yourself. So you need a physical project, you need a mental project, you need an emotional project. Physical project would be what I've just given you. The mental project would be choose a course to do, choose a book to read. I think you get the picture, right? Choose a puzzle game to play on your phone for 10 minutes every day, literally whatever you want, okay? But in my experience, when you're in a state like where most of you probably are, it's better to choose something that has a goal rather than something that's just a routine, okay? So like that 10 minutes a day of something isn't, if you have a goal to finish a book and you have then a daily goal to read 1 chapter or even 2 pages, then that's going to motivate you. It's going to keep you on track. And then your emotional goal is kind of just getting control of your emotion. You can do whatever you want with this one, honestly. But I would say the biggest thing to do there is just to make sure that you're throwing something in that's fun for you to do. So maybe you want to play a game and finish the game. Or maybe you have a passion project that you're working on and you want to finish that up. Okay, whatever it is, choose it, go for it. Choose 3 things: physical, emotional, mental projects, and go for it. And you're going to start improving yourself straight away, I promise you. Okay, your emotional can also be things like trying out new skills. If you want to learn how to cook, when I went through my massive breakup, I went and learned how to cook, and it turns out I was actually pretty good at it. Meanwhile, for years I had told myself I don't know how to cook. So that's the whole point, is that doing these things is going to show you that actually you can do the things that you told yourself you can't do, and that's immediately going to start improving you. You're going to start gaining muscle and you're like, oh, I never thought I'd be able to have muscle like this. You're going to start improving your stamina and run a whole field, and you're like, oh, I never thought I could run a whole field. You're going to start losing weight. You're going to start and your looks are going to improve dramatically. I don't care what you look like right now. If you think you're the ugliest thing, and I thought I was ugly, dude. I thought I was ugly back in the day. Look at me now, okay? I feel like I'm on top of the world when it comes to the whole physical realm thing. And that's because I just did all of this work, okay? 3 to 5 years. I know that's a long time, but it is the time, okay? 3 to 5 years, and you're going to find the improvements of where you want to be. And don't worry, because along the way, you're going to see improvements. So along the way, you're going to have little things that improve you. And then you're going to have more girls come up to you, and you're going to feel more motivated to keep going, and then so on and so forth. So you see what I'm saying is, motivation does still come from external elements. You think I don't feel good when I go out and I see 10 girls looking at me? Like, God, I feel great. But unfortunately, it's our job to control our mind. Why? Because number one, if we don't control our mind will take over and it will de-humble us. Yes, it will. Okay, like for example, when I say these things, I can just say it with a straight face now because I don't have to feel any particular way about it. But my old self would have been like, haha, look at me, I'm a cocky bitch because I have 10 girls looking at me, okay? So the first thing about controlling your mind is that you learn to be humble when you control your mind. The second thing is that, okay, I'm just getting more on that. And that's important because you can't advance any further until you are a certain level of humble, until you've reached a certain level of humbleness. Because I don't know why they stopped me there, okay? So that's just there for you. And that's that, guys. There's nothing else coming in. Everything else seems kind of good and done and dusted. This is already a long video, so I'm happy with that. Okay. And if you guys want one-on-one coaching, I don't have a practice, I don't have a service or anything like that. But if you want a psychic reading, individual psychic reading, if you want, if you're stuck somewhere and you don't know how to advance your life, hit me up as well. I'll help you out. Or if you want actual one-on-one life coaching on figuring certain things out, like how to talk to girls properly or how to do whatever it is that you're looking to do, you can hit me up as well. I'll see if I can help you out, okay? Like I said in my last video, I'm surrendering to life, so I'm just offering myself out into the world, and anything that comes to me, I will just assist with, okay? So that's that, dudes. I hope you enjoyed this video. Just a quick recap, just to make sure that it's in your heads, okay? The first thing is do the tools, okay? So the tools would be the 3 things, your 3 projects: mental project, emotional project, which is like a passion project. Even if you just want to learn a skill, okay, some people are a little bit confused about the emotion. So the emotional projects, guys, can be starting a YouTube channel that you're super passionate about. It can be downloading and playing a game, start to finish. You know, maybe you set a goal 10 minutes a day to play this game or get through a certain chapter. Passion project can be even if you want to turn it into money and you want to start actually, you know, like your emotions could be that you don't feel financially secure. Then maybe you want to start looking at a project you can do to start helping you with money. Okay, but it has to be small. It has to be simple. Don't be overwhelming yourself. Dog walking is fine. House sitting is fine. Okay, think, what can I do to start this project? And then start it. See what happens, okay? So
that's all I'm going to leave you guys with. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like, subscribe, leave a comment. Check out my other channels. Check out my vlogs. If you guys want to see, how comfortable peeps can be around me and only because I can be as comfortable around them as well. That's how it works, okay? Go check out the vlogs. It's a lot of fun. Anything other than that, I've got gaming channel if you want. Tech reviews. The tech reviews channel is just skyrocketing. It is taking off, okay? Biggest video has 2.6k views. It had 3k, but it keeps bouncing. It's like 2.6, 2.83, 2.83, 2.6. So, but it's doing well is what it's doing, okay? I do have competitions running on that channel as well if you want to go check it out. And I will see you in the next video. Love you, leave you, bye. Mwah.